Good morning. Welcome to DIY with Gayle in Ketchikan Public Library. Today we're going to do a wrap. Just a simple, easy little wrap. Here in Ketchikan, we have no snow, thank goodness, my opinion of course, but we do have a lot of rain and it's quite warm, so I wanted to do something that we can wear now. So let's get started. I have a piece of fabric down here on the table which measures 64 inches long and 56 inches wide. I'm going to put my wrap, which I'm using as the pattern, back down. Okay, so we're going to start on the fold of our fabric. Take me just a couple of minutes to get it all laid out nice and flat, because the material I'm using, I want to watch those lines because I want my lines to be nice when I'm wearing the wrap. Okay, so we're putting it up against the fold line on this part. And then we're going to measure down, and I'll give you that measurement. So 30 inches. So from the bottom of my wrap to my neck is going to be 30 inches. I'm going to add just a touch more because there's a small hem there. Okay? And then I'm going to cut that out. I'm going to come right here. Excuse me. Are we ready? I'm going to go right up this blue line here because it looks about the most correct. And it is about, let me see how much it is here. Right at 2 inches. And that is that front cut. And now I'm going to come down here, and I'm going to continue keeping mine as a rounded edge here because I kind of like that. You can always square yours off if you decide that you don't want the rounded edge. Now note, I am cutting just a touch bigger here for my seam allowance, okay? For myself, I'm actually not going to have much of a seam on my new one because I actually want this to fray as the years go by. So I'm going to stay stitch it and probably just leave it with no turn under or anything, which I think will look really neat after a few washings. I could have used my cutter on this to cut. It would have been much faster, my rotary blade, but my mat isn't quite big enough for that. I hope you guys all had a wonderful Christmas. It was a little bit different this year, but mine was fun. It was only hubby and I. First time ever in our married life of spending Christmas, just the two of us. It was wonderful. It was really fun. All right, I'm going to take the pattern off the top here. I'm ready, so we'll remove our pattern piece. Now, the only part of this that I really want to have a hem is here around the neck. I'm going to open this up and I'm going to put it around me one more time so you guys can see. So this is what I'm looking for, okay? Let me step out here a little bit. See? And this one I'm hoping is just a touch longer also, just because I needed a little bit more arm length. All right, so let's go to the sewing machine and do around the neck. And all I'm going to do for this neck is just roll it under very small, because I don't want a lot. So it's going to go fold and fold again. And you will need pins for this, especially if you're doing anything with the lines on it like I am here. You will want those lines to all match up nice. See how my blue comes to my blue line here? You want that all to match up, okay? You can do this with most any fabric as long as you love it. Very simple. Just make sure that we match those lines. All right, I'm going to go ahead and start sewing, and we'll see how that comes out. And I am going to stitch right close to the edge of that seam to hold it down. These things fray really, really well. And that's the reason I picked this, is because I do want the fray, except for up the front, of course. Let's see what we got. Just a nice little straight stitch. Making sure those lines stay lined up. This will probably be one of our easiest projects because it's all straight stitch. And I thought for the day after Christmas, this is exactly what we need. Something very simple and easy to do. I don't know about you, but I'm still recovering. My husband made a dynamite Christmas dinner. It wasn't our traditional, but oh my goodness, it was delicious. And I will admit, I didn't have to participate in the cooking part, so that was wonderful also. When you get up towards the round part where we're coming around the neck, we'll get Nathan to come in a little closer on that and we'll see how that goes. So we're coming around the circle here, and that's going to be a little bit more difficult, especially with our lining everything up. So we just want to take our time. I still have my white line coming to my white line there. And just keep ahead a little bit, and it will help turn the back pieces to the right measurement too. If you just use your fingers and do as much fingering as you can to get it the right size. And presser foot a little bit and then turn. And there we go. Like I said, you'll have to fiddle with it a bit because rounding corners, and especially with all the bulk I have right here. So to do the neck, you really, really need to pause and do your folds and pinning, or the neck will not come out right. Okay, so take the time to turn and manipulate that in there. At the peak of your turn, if you have stripes or something on it, it will not line up. It will start to make that fold, or that turn, I'm sorry, that turn. So as you can see, it's still, you still want it to come as close as possible. And then when you come out on the other side of that turn, this is a little awkward for me, so just give me a sec. We still want to make sure that we are turning that little bit and then turn again. And do use your pins here. It's really important. Otherwise that material tries to go under your presser foot and will make a weird turn, and you will end up with a pucker or a tuck. So take the time to work it through with your fingers and your pins. Okay, it still might be a little bit difficult on the sewing machine once you get there, but it will be a lot easier to do if you have pinned it, because it wants to walk out. All right, so let's give it a try again so you can see. Oops, that one came out. All right, so I'm going right back into my stitching line where I left off, needle down, and here we go. Like I said, this is that rounded part that comes around behind your neck. And I should not be running over my pins like this, but yes, do what you have to do to make it right. Nice and gentle. All right, so we're back on the straight part now, and it looks pretty good back there. So now I'm coming down the front. Alrighty, so for mine, that is all the stitching I actually want, or all the hemming I actually want on mine. Eventually, hang on one moment, I'm going to slip out of the chair here for a minute and grab this. What I want to happen around the edge of my wrap is, see how this is? I just love that look, and that's what's going to happen after a couple of washings and stuff. But I want to make sure that it doesn't go very far. I mean, every time I wash it, it's going to continue to lose threads and get longer and longer fringe. So I am going to do just a straight stitch around the whole thing. And I'm going to make it approximately, probably 1 inch. I think I'll do about 1 inch. And I mean, it's just a simple stay stitching is what you would call it, so that the frame doesn't pass that point. If you were making this out of something else and you didn't want fringe, you would put in your normal hem lines. 1/4 inch roll under the first time, and then whatever you want over the top of it. And it's not exactly straight through here, but this isn't going to matter because, like I said, all of those threads and stuff are going to give me that fringe. So it doesn't matter if it's totally straight or not. Was wondering how far we had left to go. It does take a while, and all it is, like I said, is just straight stitch all the way around. So simple, and yes, I am wearing it today. And I'll be pulling strings to make more fringe. I've been excited about this one. I've wanted to make it for a while. And I thought today was perfect. The day after Christmas, I don't know about you, but I don't have a lot of energy today. Voila! Let's take a peek at what we've got. My neck laid down pretty good. I'm pretty excited about that. I did get a little tuck there in one area, but you know what? It's under my hair. And imagine with all the frays. Can you see it? I'm excited. So I'll be doing a lot of picking at it. Okay. Now, the wonderful thing about this also is you could wear a belt. You could put a belt on underneath the back so it's touching you and coming out on the front and holding it, so you could have it like that. You can also wear it like this, which I just adore. Okay? Have fun, you guys. It's quick, it's easy, and it's just enough warmth on these crazy warm winter days. Take care, mask up, and we'll see you at the library.